Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday. Praying that your day will be a blessed day. In our Bible reading plan, we are in John chapter 14. So I hope you've already read the chapter and written in your journal what God said to you. If not, you can read it when you're done with this devotion or podcast. John chapter 14. And I want to focus on one of the verses that is well known, that we use a lot when we witness and talk with people about a relationship with Christ, is John chapter 14, verse 6, where Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. I am the way, the truth, and the life. You remember we've said several times in recent weeks that John's gospel, more than the other gospels, highlights the deity of Christ. I mean, Matthew, Mark, and Luke all teach that Jesus is deity, that he is divine. But John really makes that point over and over again. And when Jesus is speaking here, and he really is making the same point that he is deity, when he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. In John chapter 1, we saw, and I preached on it a couple of weeks ago, that in John chapter 1, it says that Jesus is the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and so on, and that Jesus being the Word means that He's that He's the embodiment, that He embodies the Word of God, the truth of God, the thoughts of God, that He embodies the actions of God, the decisions of God. So when you see Jesus, you see God. When you hear Jesus, you hear God. And so here, when Jesus says that He is the way, it's the idea that Jesus, who is the eternal one, came into this world, the incarnation, took upon himself humanity. John 1 says he took on himself human flesh, and he dwelt among us, pitched his tent among us. And so Jesus came into our world, into our darkness, taking upon himself humanity, living a sinless life, and dying on the cross to make a way for us to heaven, make a way for us to the Father, make a way for us to have a relationship with God. He is the way. He made the way. He is the way. Through a relationship with Jesus Christ, you find the way home. He says He is the truth. John chapter 1 refers to Jesus as the light of all humanity, the light of the world, that He shines the light of God's truth into our darkness, the darkness of this sinful world, the darkness of our sinful hearts and sinful minds, and helps us see the truth of God and the glory of God. And in forgiveness, we move from darkness into the light, into the purity, into the forgiveness, into the glory of God. That light, that spiritual light, is found only in a relationship with the person of Jesus Christ. He says He's the way, and He's the truth, and because as the light of God, He shows us the truth. He speaks the word of God, and then He's the life, the life. We saw in John 1 that all things that came into being did so because Jesus is the agent of creation, and there's not one thing that exists today that He did not create, and that He is life. He gives physical life and spiritual life to everything that has life. There is no life apart from Jesus. And so you and I are on the way. We are part of the way to heaven. We have the truth of God, the light of God in us, and we have spiritual life all in the same place. A relationship with Jesus Christ. That is the reason at the end of verse 6, He said, no one comes to the Father but through me, because only Jesus is the way, the path. Only Jesus is the light, reveals the truth. Only Jesus has life and can give you spiritual life. And so no one can come to the Father, no one can come to God apart from Christ. He's the only place that you find a path, the only place you find the truth, and the only place you find spiritual life. Jesus is the answer. Share this truth with somebody today. talk with someone who doesn't go to church or someone who's far from God, disconnected from Jesus Christ. Pray for and speak to your one and help them come to know Jesus, the way, the truth, and the life. God bless you. Look forward to being with you tomorrow.